Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is A Course in Miracles 365, Awakening to Love, and I'm Reverend Tomas. Special thank you to all of you who have recently subscribed. There have been a number of you, and I'm happy to have you here. We're going through miracles. Yeah, that's exciting, isn't it? It's very, very interesting because this is how the text of A Course in Miracles begins, with the introduction, which we've just been through very recently here, and then principles of miracles. As you'll notice, there are 50 of them, and we're taking this segment of the text slowly, 5 principles at a time, and on each day I'm hitting the highlights. What you'll discover, and if you have been doing this for a long time, if you're a long-time course student, we discover everything again for the very first time every day when we pick up the book and open it, don't we? Yeah, we rediscover again and again and again and again with a deeper, ideally, right? Hopefully, and most likely, if you're diligent in practice, a deeper understanding of this every time. We rediscover that these short paragraphs are incredibly packed with meaning. Each one contains the entire thought system of this course. You can say that about every sentence of it. It is completely consistent. Each sentence is whole. Every part contains the whole. It's very profound, which is why we're spending some time going through it this way. Now, what we're doing today, if you're following along, is we're looking at paragraphs 16 through 20. This is chapter 1, part 1 of the text, Principles of Miracles. And what I'm going to do here is I want to hit the highlights because there's an overall theme here that miracles are a gift. They're transcendent. They transcend the body. So this is going to be the theme of our discussion here today. And miracles, one of the principles of a miracle is that it is a teaching device. So what then does it teach? To give and to receive are one in truth. It is teaching us the equality, the oneness, the sameness of giving and receiving. A miracle is given by someone and received by apparently someone else, yet the giver also receives the gift. And because there is no other, the giver is giving the gift to him or herself. You're giving it to yourself. Every time you forgive, you're forgiving yourself. It only appears that you're forgiving another person, an outside image. You're forgiving yourself. There is one of us. One. An idea that we'll come back to again and again because it's so simple that it slips our mind, quite literally. It slips our mind in our daily life where we're running around engaged in all kinds of activity. One minute we're checking our email, the next minute we're eating lunch, the next minute we're on a Zoom, then we're in a meeting with a client, or if you go to a place of work outside of your home, you're in the commute, you're on the bus, you're driving a car, you're riding the train, you're walking, you're biking, you're on your way somewhere, and then you're there at a sales meeting or at your computer with 8 different windows popped up so you can look at Facebook over here, see what's going on with your aunt and your little cousins and your sisters doing this. And oh, hey, cool. Look, somebody's in Tuscany right now. Sounds like fun. Yeah, somebody's drinking wine. Sounds like fun. Here I am at work, right? And our mind just occupies itself. Simplicity gets missed here. It's the purpose of this course. It's the purpose of spiritual practice to bring us back to the essence. After all, we're removing the blocks to our awareness of truth. So we need to bring ourselves back again and again and again. That's why in a conventional seated meditation practice, right, now, there are many different ways, of course, to meditate, but in the conventional seated meditation practice, one often receives the instruction when you notice that your mind is carried away, not if, but when, right? You bring your awareness back to the breath or to sound or a visual object, the object of concentration, the object of meditation, the anchor, so to speak. You bring your awareness back. You bring your awareness back again and again. As many times as you notice yourself distracted, bring your awareness back. A Course in Miracles, spiritual practice is exactly the same. When you notice yourself carried away, bring yourself back. If you're working through the workbook, bring yourself back to the idea of the day. If you are not going through the workbook for students, you can bring yourself back to a different anchor, such as forgiveness, such as love. This course is done at the level of the mind with the guidance, under the guidance of your inner teacher. Ask your inner teacher for help on this. So the purpose of this course really is to get us in touch with our inner teacher and clean the slate and listen to our inner teacher. Yeah. So the miracle teaches us that to give and to receive are one in truth, and it increases the strength of both the giver and receiver. Beautiful. It increases the strength, doesn't it? If I, to use the example from the last video, smile at my neighbor and say hello today, it is a kind gift to give to my neighbor, which my neighbor receives and has a gift of kindness. I also am stronger as a result. I'm kinder because you can go out and you can be rude, can't you? Or you can be indifferent, but a simple, seemingly really simple, mundane act of kindness strengthens both the giver and receiver. Miracles are like that. And they transcend the body. This is paragraph 17, by the way, if you're following along specifically. They're all very short paragraphs. Miracles transcend the body. That's why they heal. That's why they heal. Healing is done at the level of the mind. The mind projects the body. It has projected this thing. Healing is done at the level of the mind, and miracles heal because they're done at the level of the mind. This is one that the ego doesn't want us to accept, and naturally, right? Why would it? Our biology textbooks tell us that we're this thing called Homo sapiens sapiens, right? And that is who we are, and this is who we are, and it governs our entire existence. And when this thing is gone, there's, oh, well, we're not going to answer that question because we don't know, right? That's what our biology textbook tells us. Yet here we are engaged in spiritual practice. So somewhere along the line, we've all asked ourselves, you've asked yourself, what more is out there? right? You have likely had some variation of a conversation in your own mind, thinking, there's got to be something more to it than this. There's got to be something more than having 8 windows up at my desk at work, checking Facebook and checking my cousin's trip to Tuscany. And my sister just had a baby. And God, this meeting is boring. Is this ever going to end? And I have to go to the bathroom. And when I get home, I've got to do this, this, and this, and this. Right? There's got to be more to it than that. Well, guess what? Of course there is. Of course there is. We all know that. That's why we're here. So these ideas that there's more to it than this, there is. There's more to it than this. A lot more. Miracles are also a service. They're a maximal service that we can give to someone else. It's loving thy neighbor as thyself. And paragraph 20 says that miracles show us, demonstrably show us, that it's spirit, not the body, that is the altar of truth. This is our reality. This is the deep inner knowing that we all have. Now, we've buried it away. When you've got 8 screens up at work, it's buried away. Then if you're worried about paying your light bill, which is past due, and you're worried about what you're going to have for dinner, and you're wondering if the dog has torn up the carpet while you're away at work because you forgot to put him out, right? We just occupy our minds with so many things. And all the while, truth is just right there. It's who we are. So spiritual practice is really beautiful in a lot of ways. It brings us back to this. And the more space that we can create in our busy daily lives, the more habits we can create. Remember, a miracle is a habit. We develop this habit. Forgiveness, therefore, is a habit that we develop. How do we develop it? With practice. So we find opportunities in the midst of our daily lives, which of course we don't stop. I mean, we keep living a normal life, right? Pay the light bill. you know, we live our daily normal life, and we're showing ourselves to see things differently. Miracles are a way that we reawaken an awareness. We reawaken an awareness that we're not a body, that spirit, not the body, is the altar of truth. This is what we intuitively, gut level know deep down. We may have buried it. We can bury it for a long, long time. But it's this urging, and it is an urging, isn't it? It's a calling. It's just a thought. It starts as just a momentary thought, right? That there's got to be something more to it. And then we find ourselves picking up this big blue book with the very interesting title, A Course in Miracles. No, my copy's blue. Anyway, with the gold lettering worn off the front, it now says A Course In, because I've carted this thing all over the world. And by constant handling, the golden lettering of miracles is now worn off. It's very cool. And yes, there's a lesson in that, isn't there? Yeah. But we find ourselves here interested in this material when, of course, there's so much other content out there on YouTube. I mean, there's a lot of very interesting content on YouTube. And you could also say that there's a lot of very uninteresting content out there. But the point is, you could be doing anything else. And here you are. Now, this is what I thank you for. This is what I appreciate more than anything else, more than the subscriptions, more than the likes, more than the comments. It's your commitment and dedication to practice, to your spirituality, to your walk. That is what I appreciate and thank you for above all else. That's what matters the most. So I am here to be of assistance to you and a help to you on the path. That is why these videos exist. So if you're enjoying this content, here's the subscription button, the little red arrow. I'd love to have you join me here. What's going on is, well, we're going to spend a long time on these videos. There are going to be many, many, many of them. So I invite you to join me. Every time you tune in, there's always some reason why, isn't there? There's always something that you need to hear. I don't know what it is when I turn on the camera and microphone, but there's something for you to gain. And if I'm able to be of assistance to you in any way, I do hope that you'll reach out here with comments or via email with questions, and I am happy to help along the way. So thank you, as always, for joining me, and have a beautiful day, a beautiful evening. I'll see you again soon.